Hello! Many of you asked to record a video which nationalities will be more successful in finding and marrying Ukrainian women and for which nationalities it will be a little bit more difficult to do. We cooperate quite a lot with ex-translators and ex-staff of dating and marriage agencies in Ukraine, and that is why we know quite a lot about their internal affairs. In this video I will be talking from instructions that are given to women by dating and marriage agencies, as well as from my own experience of working with men from different countries and different continents. I will cover the most popular nationalities of men preferred by Ukrainian women in this video. In about 80 to 85%, Ukrainian girls and women will choose men from the countries that we will review in this video. Enough of words, but before we start, please check if you are subscribed to my channel and be sure to like this video. So, let's get started. Men of which nationalities have success in relationships with Ukrainian women? Top 1 on the list are men from 3 countries. It is United States, United Kingdom and Canada. These men have very high success rate in relationships as well as in marriage with Ukrainian women. Why these men? Reason number 1 is language, which is spoken by you, and it is English language. English language is very easy to learn. It is pretty easy language. Many girls and women know basic English already because they learned it in school. Some speak average English, and that's a very big plus. It will be easy for you to communicate from the very beginning, and as your relationships move on further and further, she will know other words thanks to you, and she will improve her English, I would say, dramatically, even on a daily basis. Number 2. Americans, British and Canadians are not greedy if we compare them, for example, to Germans or Austrians. But we will talk about Germans and Austrians a little bit later in this video. Ukrainian women do not like greedy men, and they would respect and they would like that they are with Americans, British or Canadians. More than half of those women will be even proud that they are in relationships with American, British and Canadian men, believe it or not. Reason number 3 is pretty same culture as in Ukraine. Indeed, you understand our jokes pretty good, and it is pretty okay to communicate with Americans, British and Canadians. Pretty easy to communicate. Last but not least, more than 50% of Americans, British and Canadians have money, and it is quite big advantage when you're dealing with a woman. Unfortunately, many scammers try to take advantage of that. But let's not talk about scammers in this video. We're talking about good, honest, trustworthy Ukrainian women. On the second place are men from Scandinavian countries and from Switzerland. No wonder these countries have the best life in Europe. As with previous 3 countries in top 1 that we have covered before, Scandinavians and Swiss men have very high chances of finding and marry a Ukrainian woman. These men also have money and mostly are not greedy. Huge advantage, of course, is the location of your country in Europe. It is close to Ukraine. So, for example, if your wife's parents get sick, it is pretty easy and fast for your wife to travel to Ukraine to see her parents. Main disadvantage, of course, is language. Scandinavian languages are different, and in Switzerland you have to know actually 2 languages, German and French, less often Italian. You would say in some parts of Canada you also have to learn French. But I think if you know their English, you will be okay in most cases. With Scandinavian countries and with Switzerland, it is a little bit more different. Besides language, everything else is more or less okay. So if you are from Norway, Sweden, Denmark and Switzerland, good luck. You have very high chances of finding and marrying Ukrainian girl. Marriage agencies claim that on the 3rd place are countries like Belgium, Netherlands, France and Ireland. Marriage agencies claim that men from these countries are not thrifty, caring, love to travel, and mostly are good with women. And Ukrainian women should be happy with most men from these countries because they are family oriented as well. One of disadvantages is again language barrier, as with previous countries that I have talked about. In Belgium, for example, you have to know Dutch and French, at least in most parts of the country. Irish people speak English, but they have a very different pronunciation that women will have to get used to. Men from these countries also understand our jokes pretty well and are pretty easy to get along with. According to information from dating and marriage agencies, next category of men are Australians and New Zealanders, and they have pretty good chances of meeting a Ukrainian woman. The only disadvantages of Aussies and Kiwis is location of their countries. They are very far away from Ukraine. You would have to pay much more for airline tickets and to travel quite long to Ukraine. So if you marry a Ukrainian woman and if she wants to visit, for example, her parents, it would be much more difficult for her to do that. And it will not be cheap either. I know that with COVID hysteria, regulations in Australia are pretty crazy. They are ridiculous. But I believe COVID will not be here forever. And as of 2020, Australians and New Zealanders can come to Ukraine without any visa and stay here for up to 90 days. Both Australians and New Zealanders are English speaking. With some getting used to your pronunciation, Ukrainian woman would be okay, absolutely okay with you. Aussies and Kiwis understand our jokes pretty well. You are very easy to get along with, and I haven't noticed if men from Australia or New Zealand were thrifty or greedy. You have pretty good chances, and I wish you only good luck in finding that one and only Ukrainian woman. According to information from marriage and dating agencies, next group of men come from Spain, Italy, Greece and Portugal. Frankly speaking, I do not know why they put Italy, Spain and Greece into this category, because these are lovely countries and very nice people there. But maybe because men from these countries have a little bit less money than men from previously mentioned countries. Probably dating and marriage agencies earn less money from these men. And of course they want to deal with men who have more money and who spend more money on their websites and from whom they can earn more. I personally have been to Italy, to Spain, to Greece many times, and I like those countries, I like those people, but probably marriage agencies make less money from you, and money is everything for marriage agencies. So just keep in mind that if you are from Italy, Spain, Greece and Portugal, and you see that Ukrainian women do not correspond with you, that may be because they are following those guidelines that they received from those marriage or dating agencies. According to information from marriage and dating agencies, if woman is not successful with any of those men from those countries that I have just covered, they can try luck with Germans and Austrians. They say that these men are usually wealthy, but they are very greedy. So agencies recommend looking at these men as a very undesirable choice. I cannot say from my experience if it is true or not. I do not have many clients from Germany nor from Austria. But from my experience, I can tell you about my friend, or would be more correct to say a friend that I had. That guy moved to Germany a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago, and he married a Belarusian girl there, and now he became a citizen of Germany. Several years ago, he came to Odessa, and we had a very big party. I was studying with that guy in school for 10 years, and like every 5 years we have a school reunion when we just meet and have a party. We have a saying here: no matter how much alcohol you buy, it is just not enough. So we had a party and we asked this guy to go and to buy some beer for us. We called a taxi and he went to a nearby shop and he bought like 10 bottles of beer. Beer in Ukraine is very cheap, so it's like less than €1 or about $1 per liter. And I think he bought about 10 bottles, like 10 2-liter bottles of beer, so he paid around like €15 or $20. No big deal. But when he came back, the first thing that he said is that we have to collect those like €15 or $20 and give him back that money. In Ukraine, that's nonsense. Even if person earns like $200, and if friends ask him to buy that beer, he would never ask money for that. Never. And that guy came, and the first thing he said, okay, you owe money for the taxi, it was something like $5, and you owe money for that beer. And he lived in Germany for 20 years. Of course, we will never invite him to any party again. Never. And we do not consider him as a friend anymore, because of that greediness. That was just an example, and as I said before, we do not have many clients from Germany nor Austria. And when I collected information about this video, I looked up some of our records. Some Germans and Austrians who were interested in our services ordered 1 or 2 consultations, and only one Austrian man ordered surveillance for 3 days. That's it. I guess marriage and dating agencies know that very well and simply do not recommend Ukrainian women to deal with you. If you're from Germany or from Austria and you're trying to find a Ukrainian girl on dating or marriage agency website and nothing works out, most probably that means that operators that do these online chats have been instructed not to pay much attention to Germans and Austrians. In such case, try to register as if you are from United States, United Kingdom, Canada, maybe Scandinavian countries, maybe from Switzerland, and you'll be most probably, or I would say that you would have much more chances of being successful. From which country are you? For how long have you been trying to establish relationships with Ukrainian or Slavic girl? Have you been successful or have you been scammed? Please let me know in comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it, and please check if you are subscribed to my channel. If you are not, please subscribe to it and motivate me to record more videos for you in the future. And of course, if you are a scammer watching this video, you can dislike this video. In such way we will know how many scammers watch my videos. If you need my help, consultation or advice, please feel free to email me at my email address. I am always glad to be of help to people who really need help. Please write me in comments which subject do you want me to cover in my next videos. What would be of interest to you the most about Ukraine, Ukrainian girls, life in Ukraine, maybe doing business in Ukraine? Please write me in comments. As usual, I wish you all good luck, success, joy, happiness, and of course, stay healthy and wealthy.